Hey guys, this is Supermayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. So, you guys doing a lot of snitching, and y'all went and got my site shut down. My Tiffany on the Move podcast, Tiffany Henyard on the Move podcast. Well, it's said that when truth speaks, everybody gets scared and everybody gets to running. And y'all asked me for the receipts, but I got the receipts right here on ice, like I always do. Y'all asked for it, and I'm about to deliver. I got episode after episode after episode. Just wait your turn. Yeah, your turn coming. Just wait. Y'all doing all that talking. Y'all doing all that lying. And I told y'all, stop lying on me before I start telling the truth on y'all. And that's what this is. Truth speaks right here. Residents, community, nation, y'all gonna be shocked at the mess that's all around y'all. But I want to educate people in my delivery of receipts that y'all thought I didn't have. I always keep my receipts. I mean, I do a lot of talking, or it may come out a little slower than norm, but I keep receipts. That way I can educate the world as what happens behind the scenes that y'all don't see. I don't like fake news, because fake news tell you one-sided narratives. They don't tell you the truth. As you can see, you saw that first one. First one was lit, wasn't it? It was off the chain. And the problem I got is, when they do it, it's cool. But when I do it, it's a problem. But this how I see it in my head. Play the video.
A high-ranking administrator for both Dolton and Thornton Township is charged with fraud connected to an alleged bankruptcy scheme.
The village also completed negotiations with the police patrol, police lieutenants, and the sergeants.
Right here you see Keith Freeman, who sits next to embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, discussing finances at a recent village board meeting. The U.S. attorney accuses Freeman of concealing assets and incomes from his creditors. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. We reached out to Freeman and various Dolton officials, but have not yet heard back.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Tiffany Henyard talked about the snitches. Well, she's going to have to deal with a lot more snitches, so it seems, because the feds are closing in on her. It seems like the first domino has fallen as the feds have indicted her top lieutenant, Mr. Keith Freeman, who also helps run Thornton Township, okay? This guy is her right-hand man. He is the guy that allegedly started the charity that has not properly filed paperwork, that allegedly is using taxpayer dollars to fund its operations. And the feds closing in on this guy is an indication that they are building a case against Miss Tiffany Henyard, that the walls are closing in. Now, again, this is still early, but the idea is that the feds are going to use him to get to Tiffany Henyard, okay? He's going to become the snitch, right? He gonna start snitching and tattletelling on Tiffany Henyard. There's no doubt in my mind, once the feds start throwing them charges at this guy and the people around her, all of them are gonna start yapping, okay? They're gonna start popping off at the mouth, okay? Telling the feds everything they want to know, because none of these guys want to do hard time behind bars, and they're definitely going to throw her under the bus in order to save themselves. There's no doubt. So without further ado, let's watch this news clip and learn about the first domino that seems to be falling against Tiffany Henyard, who is facing a ton of allegations against her for misuse of taxpayer funds, corruption, hiding sexual assaults, all types of crazy nonsense. So let's go ahead and get into it.
As WGN Investigates was first to report today, a top aide to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been indicted for bankruptcy fraud. It comes amid ongoing questions about Henyard's spending and leadership.
And legal experts say it could be the first sign that the feds are trying to get people to share what they know about potential government corruption in the south suburbs.
Let's be smarter than that. This is not just the price is right.
Despite sitting next to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard at countless meetings, the feds allege Keith Freeman not only failed to report his income from the village, he actively lied about it. Freeman is Henyard's top aide in both Dolton and Thornton Township. As part of a personal bankruptcy case, he was required to report his earnings. But this indictment on one count of bankruptcy fraud says Freeman falsely stated he only worked for the township and made just over $99,000 last year. Prosecutors say he tried to hide his Dolton earnings via a pass-through company, which brought his income to $195,000 last year. They further allege the Village of Robbins has a claim against Freeman for more than $90,000 he took without authorization from a previous post he held as village administrator there.
Yeah, so what you guys can see here is that this guy is sketchy, okay? He tried to take W-2 income and tried to hide it via a pass-through entity in order to reduce his taxable income, which, you know, hey, I personally believe this guy is the brains of the operation because I don't think that Tiffany Henyard is too smart. She does not come off as the brightest bulb, okay, or the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't think the elevator goes all the way to the top floor. So somebody has to be the brains of the operation. I think this guy is the brains of the operation, and I think that's why the feds are going after him. Because, you know, hey, once they get him and they get him to start talking, he probably know everything. Again, this is the guy that set up the charity. So he's probably responsible for all the paperwork, all the scamming. This guy probably knows everything, right? He knows everything.
This is long coming. If a person can lie on their own financials, what do you think they're doing for the village?
Nobody is untouchable. That's what I want to say. Nobody is untouchable. So if this is just the first domino to all of them falling, let it happen.
Dude, Jay Bradley, how you feeling?
Freeman is a key player in our reporting on Tiffany Henyard because of how many roles he plays for her. In addition to the Dolton and Township jobs, Freeman also, for a time, was the registered agent of the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation.
But there's no foundation in the state of Illinois moving like we moving and shaking and grooving like we doing. Right?
That's right.
While Henyard's namesake charity claims to help cancer patients, WGN Investigates has reported it received most of its early money from taxpayers and has failed to file required paperwork showing how it spends its money.
How come you don't respond to my emails?
There you go. There you go.
Huh?
There you go. That's all you're getting from me. That's all you're getting from me today.
How come the charity hasn't filed its financial disclosures about how money was spent?
How would I know that? That's a good question, though.
What you mean, how would you know that? you the registered agent, brother. If you don't know it, who else would know it? See, Tiffany Henyard don't know nothing about it, right? She don't know who run it. The guy that's a registered agent, he doesn't know anything about why they haven't filed a proper paperwork. But then again, this is the same guy that apparently forgot he was an employee of the Village of Dolton, right? Because he wasn't reporting his income. He was putting it in an undisclosed bank account somewhere else. Instead of reporting it properly. So I guess he's just a forgetful guy, right? He's so forgetful. I'm not sure how he's qualified to be in this position if his memory is that bad, okay? Maybe he has a case of the Joe Biden. Again, you guys can see what's going on here, right? Clearly and obviously, these people are criminals, right? Clearly and obviously, there's some sketchy things going on here. There's probably some money laundering. These people are misusing taxpayer funds, funneling into the charity, and then it's going into their pockets. That's exactly what they're doing. And they're funneling money in their pockets through other ways as well, too. And again, this is why this guy is acting so sketchy. You're the registered agent, my guy, right? Your name is on the paperwork. You're the one that's responsible. It's your job to answer these types of questions. How would I know that? Your name's on the paperwork, right? That's how you would know it. But again, you know, hey, when all else fails, play dumb. Yo, shout out to WGN. Because they've been going hard against Tiffany Henyard. They has done some real investigative journalism. I'm so serious, okay? This is type of journalism that news channels should aspire to. Because they have really, really, really been on this mayor from the beginning, okay? And without their reporting, I don't think that we would have the information that we have today. I don't think that the feds would be investigating. I don't think that the Attorney General of Illinois would be investigating. I don't think that the country would know about this, that this woman is probably the most corrupt mayor in history without the reporting of this news outlet. So shout out to this news outlet because they're asking the tough questions. Even though these people refuse to answer questions, they continue to ask questions, and they got all the receipts, man. They got all the footage of the sketchiness.
How would I know that? That's a good question, though.
For months, WGN Investigates has reported on questionable conduct on Henyard's watch, including unexplained travel, including first-class airfare and fine dining on the taxpayer's dime. Credit card statements show Freeman was on many of the trips, including one to Las Vegas, where another Henyard aide now claims a Dolton trustee sexually assaulted her. Others accuse Henyard of using Freeman and other government employees to retaliate against her opponents. Court watchers say the feds could use the bankruptcy charge against Freeman to get him to cooperate in other investigations.
When the feds are looking at a larger scheme or relationship, oftentimes what they have to do is go for people who are below or the lower part of the food chain, get them for something, charge them with something, because that's the leverage they need to be able to sit down with that person and say, now, if you help us, life might be good for you. If you don't help us, you're in a lot of trouble. Now, what do you want to do?
So I said one down, about 25 more to go.
No comment this afternoon from Keith Freeman. His boss, Tiffany Henyard, said through a spokesperson that she's aware of the indictment but won't comment due to the ongoing investigation. So we don't know whether taxpayers will continue paying Freeman's 2 salaries despite today's bankruptcy fraud charge.
Wow. Incredible stuff. Is anybody surprised? I'm not surprised. It was only a matter of time. There was too many allegations against this woman. Something got to stick, right? And again, now what we're saying is that it's a serious investigation. Like before, there was speculation about the feds investigating, right? People were saying, oh, the feds have been asking questions. You know, they've been around town snooping. But now it's essentially confirmed that, yeah, they're going after the leaders of this town. And it looks like it is the beginning of the end for Tiffany Henyard. And quite honestly, I can't wait until they actually really get her, right? When they get her, it will be a great day. And the reason why is because, I think these people deserve better. I really do. For as much I make fun of Dolton/Thornton being Wakanda, I don't want to see it be Wakanda, right? I want this town to actually be, a productive town where taxpayers are actually getting what they pay for, okay? Where the officials there aren't corrupt, and, where there's a thriving community. And you can't have that when you got somebody like Tiffany Henyard and the Keith Thorntons and all the rest of the goons running the place. I just hope they learn their lesson from it. And when the next election comes around, they pick wisely, right? Don't pick based off race, skin color, all that nonsense. You need to pick the most qualified person who also has a squeaky clean track record when it comes to handling the finances for some township or some entity that, hey, at the very least seems to be educated, right? Let's get there, okay? Educated and not corrupt, right? Let's get those basic qualifications down and then go from there. But, hey, again, it looks like it's the beginning of the end. I definitely think that they're going to get him. I definitely think that he's going to start talking, okay? And once he starts talking, it's going to be over for her. But, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.